$100 in Oman equals just 38 Omani Riyal. This is a country of just over 5 million people. That's smaller than most global cities. More than half the country is under 30, and every year more people here need jobs, housing, and stability than the year before. So I'm spending $100 today to see just what I can get with that. As I spend throughout the day, I'm learning more about the economy, the people, and the challenges this country is faced with. The day begins with a full Omani breakfast. Eggs, slow-cooked beans, and small sides meant to be eaten together. This whole breakfast platter costs 3.5 Omani Riyal. That sounds super cheap. It's actually worth almost $10. I'm not used to being in a country where one of its local currency is equal to $2.60. This place feels super authentic, and I just found it on Google Maps. The portions are filling, designed for a long morning ahead. So 1 Riyal is equal to $2.60, making it one of the strongest currencies in the world. That's because the Riyal is pegged to the US dollar. The exchange rate is fixed. It's not floating. The government actively keeps it stable. But what does that actually do? Well, a stable currency means predictable prices. Imported food, fuel, and consumer goods won't just swing wildly when global markets get nervous. For a country that imports a lot, that helps keep inflation under control. See, it's interesting here because countries with floating exchange rates can actually weaken their money to make exports cheaper and make tourism more competitive. We all have a friend who tells us like, oh, Japan is so cheap right now. But Oman can't really do that because the Riyal is fixed to the US dollar. So Oman has to compete through infrastructure, productivity, and long-term planning, not currency moves. Karak comes next. This is black tea boiled with milk, sugar, and cardamom until it turns thick and strong. It's usually not a sit-down drink, I'm told. It's something you grab between places, and it's kind of part of the daily rhythm here. It's really delicious, actually. It's quite creamy, quite popular here in Oman, as well as other Gulf countries. It's actually influenced by South Asia. The price here at this cafe is $2. So if 1 Omani Riyal equals $2.60, what happens? Like, how do they do lower value currency? I thought they would just have a lot of coins, but they actually have a half. This is a half of a Riyal. It's equal to $1.30. Okay, now I'm tempted to take a taxi to my next stop. Google Maps said that I'm just a 14-minute walk away, so I thought it'd be like a really smooth, easy walk, but actually, I quickly learned this is not a walkable city. There's no infrastructure in place, at least in this area I'm in now. No sidewalks, nothing. I don't think walking is very common here. That's why I order a taxi. My first taxi ride takes about 20 minutes, the price $13. One detail becomes obvious immediately to me. Every taxi driver here is Omani. They're required to wear traditional dress while working. This is a policy, so instead of expat labor doing this kind of work, I'm able to talk to a local about prices and the economy. I'll explain why they have this rule a little bit later. The ride ends at the Sultan Qaboos Grand Mosque. This is one of the largest mosques in the world, built with symmetry and openness. This space feels kind of intentional, measured, calm. It's a tone that carries through my time today in Oman. This place doesn't have skyscrapers. It feels calm. That feeling didn't come from nowhere. After oil prices collapsed around 2014, government revenues dropped hard. Debt climbed steadily and peaked near 70% of GDP by 2020. That forced spending cuts, new fees, and lower expansion. Growth eventually returned, but carefully, averaging just about 2 to 3% a year. As you move through the city, the history shows up subtly. I'm kind of surprised that the infrastructure, though, is quite underdeveloped. Even small purchases reflect it. After the mosque, I head to the Souk. I walk around here for a bit, and I buy a kuma. This is the embroidered cap worn daily by men across the country. The price is $5. This is practical, breathable, and everywhere. It's part of the tradition. While other countries in the Gulf wear something different, these hats are distinctly for Oman. I try to go to the fish market, but I'm bummed to find out it actually closes at 1, so I need another plan. I head to this restaurant just across the street that's known for the fish. I order this fish, which comes with rice. The fish they eat here is usually some sort of local fish, either hamor or kingfish, marinated just in lemon and garlic, and then grilled or fried. The price is $19. I also order this salad, which is watercress, shallots, cherry tomatoes, dressed with dried Omani lemon dressing. The price of this, $11. When I travel, I love getting to know people, and oftentimes the best way to get to know someone is talking to a taxi driver. Here's one of the drivers I meet today. For Omani people, what is expensive?
I think the electricity, also the petrol for the gasoline for the cars, and the wages was still the same, So the inflation, inflation for all stuff.
Do Omani people want to always live in Oman, or do they want to live somewhere
Most
else?
of Oman, no, they like to live in Oman because Oman is very peaceful, very calm, low stress. People are friendly, so Oman is very neutral country, very open, easygoing. We want to introduce the Islam and Arab in a good way to people.
I learned quite a bit talking to that taxi driver because he has 4 children, and he said the Omani government gives him 10 riyal per month per child. That's $26 per child per month. And he said, look, it's not that much, but it helps. So the average monthly pay for citizens here in Oman is about 900 to 1200 riyal. So that's about 2300 to 3100 US dollars. But there is some pressure that is happening in Oman, and that's jobs. Most online shopping is still kind of dumb. You search, scroll, compare, get frustrated, and eventually leave your cart. And repeat. It's an annoying process that hasn't evolved in years. But there's a new technology that finally fixes that experience, and they're today's sponsor. Resolve AI developed a specialized commerce engine called Brain. Now, unlike a general chatbot that just hallucinates facts, Resolve's AI is trained specifically on retail data. It understands how people actually shop, not just the keywords that they type into a search bar. So instead of clicking through endless product pages and filters, you can actually talk to the store. You can ask complex questions, get tailored recommendations, and move straight to checkout, all in one single conversational flow. Resolve basically sells this software to massive global retailers, marketplaces, and payment companies. They already have an existing partnership with Microsoft and Google. The company expects to make over $350 million a year by 2026, which is 10 times more than they made in 2025. Private peers like Anthropic and Sierra are trading at 100 times their revenue. Resolve is currently trading at just about 5 to 10%. Now big investors are jumping in, with some analysts saying the price could hit $12. Institutional interest is building, with multiple analysts initiating coverage and 6 published price targets today, with some price targets all the way up to $15. This is not financial advice. You should always do your own research. But what they're doing is very cool. You can learn more about Resolve AI in my description below, and they're trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker RZLV. You can also find their full growth roadmap at investor.resolve.com. And now back to the video. Every year, more young Omanis graduate and look for work. The government used to absorb those jobs, but it can't really do that anymore. So the government here introduced what's called Omanization. Because see, the private sector relied heavily on cheaper foreign labor, but this new policy is pushing companies to hire locals instead, even though it's more expensive. So there's 2 sides to every coin here, right? This move protects unemployment because it helps people to get jobs here, but on the downside, it raises costs and ultimately slows business expansion. Think about companies that want to grow in Oman and then maybe export or expand globally, or even in the region. It might be harder to do that when your wages are higher because you're kind of forced to hire locals. Youth unemployment is relatively high here. So Oman made a choice: protect jobs and social stability, even if that slows growth. In my conversations around here, wages come up less often because for many people, they just haven't changed that much. More than half of Oman's population is under 30, and each year brings more job seekers into a market that's growing carefully. See, youth unemployment sits high. That might sound manageable on paper, but in a small country, pressure can accumulate quickly. So that pressure actually shapes policy. Local jobs are actually protected and outsourcing is limited. Growth is filtered rather than chased, and that's why they have this policy about Omanis must be taxi drivers. They don't want to give those jobs to other people. I take another taxi ride. The price is $10. Later at night, after resting at the hotel, I go to this brand new restaurant for dinner. I get a little lentil soup. It has lentils, onions, spices. It's light, filling, and the price is $7. This is quite nice. They give a welcome drink with grapefruit, and then this is like kind of a tomato, kind of like a salsa. And this is za'atar, a very common spice found in this region, especially in Lebanon. And I got the lentil soup with chicken. So it's really interesting. I came into this restaurant, which I found on Google Maps, but it's a brand new outdoor mall, 3 stories. It's gonna be beautiful. It already is beautiful, but it's completely empty. There was only about 2 restaurants so far that are open, but it felt kind of symbolic. It felt like they're building to scale. They're building to have a lot more people here. They're kind of taking a bet on that because there's still a lot of things that I've been kind of surprised by. For instance, in Dubai, there's so many apps to order a car. You can use Careem, you can use Uber. Here, they don't have either of those. You have to use like an app that's for taxis only, and you can't put your card on it. You have to pay cash. So there's a lot of little things that are that kind of caught me by surprise compared to their neighbors, but maybe that's by design, right? They don't want to be a place with a lot of skyscrapers, a place with a lot of glitz and glam. They're more into preserving their heritage, preserving their history here, while still growing their tourism. I've been really impressed with the food. The food really surprised me. Everything I ate today was absolutely delicious, a lot of flavor, and unique things as well. That brings my total for today to $77, meaning I still have $23 left over. This country is not cheap, but it's also not expensive. Let me know what surprised you the most about the culture, the tourism, and the economy here in Oman, and make sure you're subscribing so you don't miss my next $100 day.